When I was in grade 11, a vice principal at a neighboring high school wore blackface as part of his Halloween costume. And as a picture of this costume circulated on social media, racialized community members expressed concern about what was a blatant act of anti-Black racism. But it wasn't long before the rest of the community rushed to this vice principal's defense. They didn't think that he should lose his job over what they believed to be political correctness, so they started a petition to save him. They felt that blackface and anti-Blackness were part of the past, so he shouldn't have to face consequences for what was just enthusiastic participation on Halloween. In the midst of this discussion, I felt entirely forgotten as a Black student. No one asked me if I was okay, if I had been harmed. If they had asked, I would have told them that this incident shattered any sense of belonging I had left in a predominantly white community. I had spent my childhood trying to build a strong identity as a Black femme. And this choice to wear blackface trivialized that struggle and reduced my Blackness to a costume. But I think the hardest part is that my friends, neighbors, and teachers defended him. It made me realize that I didn't know the people who made up this community, that it always felt so small and familiar. And it made me realize that they didn't know me either. They didn't value me, because they never stopped to look back and see if I was okay. Not even when this vice principal was transferred to my high school as a consequence. Not even when he became my vice principal. There was one person who cared for me during this time, and that was my sociology teacher. She taught me the term systemic racism and helped me to understand that this wasn't an isolated incident of anti-Black racism. It was part of a culture of anti-Black racism in my school board, and in my community. That culture, where Black histories and experiences are excluded, is what allowed this incident to happen. She engaged in dialogue with me and supported me in creating a presentation about systemic racism in my school board. I shared it with my peers and educated them about how this incident impacted my life. She empowered me to become an advocate for Black students. But I would be lying if I said that that had been enough. I moved away from my hometown shortly after I graduated because I couldn't trust my community to uphold my safety. And some of my closest friendships were never the same after what happened. It took a long time for my family to be able to move back to the town I grew up in because no one was ever held accountable for the way that incident harmed us. No one ever asked how to set that right. So the harm is still there, even though 6 years have passed.